This clever little die set is a bit of papercraft magic. It allows you to make not only beautiful 3D flowers, but they also spin as well. Look at that, it's just incredible. And they open to reveal a surprise. You can pop a greeting or a photograph in there. It's just amazing. Perfect for all year round crafting, really. I'm going to show you how to make a card like this, and it's a lot easier than you might think. This is the die set here, and there are so many dies. It comes with a magnetic sheet as well. There's just so much you can do with this die set. It's amazing. Now, I am going to show you how to die cut the lacy flower. So I'm going to take a gorgeous sheet of card from, let me slide this out here, our Wildflower card pack. It's foiled as well. It's just gorgeous. So this is the main die. This is the main flower. I'm going to place it on a sheet of card. We recommend using 200 GSM just because it's easy to fold. You're not going to get sort of creasing, cracking from thick card. 200 GSM is thick enough to be strong, to make this flower strong, and also it folds really easily. The nice thing about our card pack is that you could sort of move this around and get different effects depending on where you position your die. If you were to use this on its own, it would die cut a flower with plain petals, but I'm going to show you how the inserts work. There are 5 heart inserts that come with the set, and it allows you to die cut lacy flowers. We just thought it was better value for money to be able to make plain flowers and have the option of lace ones instead of having to purchase separate die sets all in one, everything you need. I'm going to use a little bit of washi tape just to hold the dies in place, and then I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine. I use every scrap of the card. So if you can imagine, if you placed your sort of butterflies or your, there's a sprig, bees, there's so much you can do. So you can use every single scrap of that card pack. So the way I remove the waste is just to turn it face up, give it a tap, and the pieces just pop out like that. Okay. So I'm going to use, I might do a little bit of stenciling actually. You can see I've decorated the petals here a little bit. So I'm going to bring in some stencils and just have a bit of fun really. Okay, let's start with the lattice. I'm going to go for this side here and maybe a little bit. I've got distress oxides here. I'm going to go for a bit of yellow and a little bit of orange, I think. All of the stencils work so well with your flowers, and they were designed for your card bases as well as embellishing your flowers. I find the cascading rose and the hedgerow really good for your card layouts. So we've got a little hint of pattern here, which is really nice. I'm going to put that to one side and maybe bring in the cascading rose. So the nice thing about this, if you wanted to, I could have stenciled a flower in here. I'm going to go for some little flowers on the outside. You don't have to use, these are big stencils, but you don't have to use the entire stencil. And I quite like to use them like this, so you get a little hint of flowers just on those petal edges. So I'm using the bulk of the cascading rose stencil here, but the little extra stencils that you get with that one, if I bring that into shot, this is the panel. Now we designed this so that you could, if you wanted to, use it to embellish the petals like this, but again you've got these small sections, so you can just get a hint of petals, a hint of flowers, which is just really lovely when the flower closes up. Right, tiny bit of edging, I think, not much again because you've got those gorgeous colours going on from the card pack. Just a little hint. I do love those roses that have got the contrasting petal edges. When we talked about creating the card pack, I really wanted one with the sort of the peach and then the pink tips. Always makes me think of English country garden, those gorgeous English roses. Okay, that's really nice. And I'm going to just show you how to fold the flower next, I think. Right, so if I bring this closer into shot, the die, like I said, it cuts the shape, but it also lightly scores your fold lines. Now, if I can just, where did I put the die set? Here we go. So the die not only comes on a magnetic sheet, but also there are photographic instructions. It's double-sided, which is just so handy. You're probably going to pay attention to this for the first time you make a flower, and then once you get going, you'll be away. So there's a diagram here, and it shows your peak and your valley folds. So if you watch the video and then you forget what you're doing, don't worry, you've got that on the instructions. So I like to start with the diagonal lines first. It's a pentagon in the center, so there's only 5 to do with each. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and the last one 5. So that was the diagonal mountain folds, and now I'm going to do the valley ones. 3, 4, 5, there we go. And what I like to do is just pinch the outside, and it forms a sort of basket shape. I never find the need to fold the inner lines, because by the time you've manipulated the card, just moved it around like this, they start to go anyway. Right then, you can see it's wanting to fold in, so I'm just going to grab those corners. It twists. You'll feel the card twisting, and as it goes, if you're not sure and it's the first time that you're doing this, you can turn the flower upside down as it's going, and you can see here the overlapping corners, and it folds flat. The lovely thing about these flowers, I will show you how to get that 360 spin. If you were just to stick this to your card, it's still going to have that lovely twist and reveal. So it doesn't have to spin, it will still pop open and close, which is really nice. Okay, let's do the center, and then we'll work on the card base. So within the die set, which I've moved far beyond reach, hang on, here we go. There is a pentagon, and this is designed to cut anything you want to fit perfectly within the center of your flowers. So I've just die cut this pentagon from white card. This is the, oh my goodness, this is the gorgeous photopolymer stamp set. 38 pieces. I do not know how Katie managed to fit so many in. I gave her all of the artwork, and what she does with it is just amazing. So I'm lucky. Thank you. Gosh, so many. I'm gonna go with the thinking of you. I quite like dye ink or archival ink for greetings, just because you get that crisper stamped impression. And let me bring this in again. Little stencil from a cascading rose. Go with a bit of orange, bit of contrast. Well, that's pretty. So there are stamps within the set that you can use for corners of your pentagon. They're shaped perfectly to work within it. Little flowers, there's a lovely little heart. There's flourishes, there's just so much to choose from. That's super cute. I'm going to stick that into the flower. So something else you can do with the cascading rose, I mentioned the flower centers. So not only can you stencil inside your flower for the reveal, but you can also stencil over a made flower, a 3D flower. This one's a little bit big for the lacy one, I think. So I'm going to go a little bit smaller, maybe this one with purple. This is the Seedless Preserves Distress Oxide I'm using here. I love this because you get that extra dimension. Now, the card that I've got here, what I have used is within the die set, there are 5 stamen pieces. These pieces here, they actually look a little bit like frog's legs, quite funny. If I open this up, you can see it more clearly. So there are 5 of these dies, so you can die cut them all 5 in one pass of the die cutting machine, which is really handy. I've got a spare piece here. I'll show you how they attach. So the diagonal lines is actually a triangle piece here, and what you would do is just die cut these and attach them here. But I'm going to show you on an alternative way to create a pretty center to your flowers. And it's actually quick. I'd say it's quicker actually. The stamp set there is a lovely stamen stamp, this one here. Yes, this stamp set is designed to work with your dies, but it's also a standalone stamp set. You've got your stamen, your stem, your leaves, your petals. There's a spacer as well for stamping your flowers. It's just really handy stamp set. I'm going to push the flower down flat, roughly line the center of the stamp up with the center of the flower. Now, because it's 3D and we've got lots of different layers, I'm just going to rock the stamp around slightly. There we go. Watch this. This is so cool. Look at that. There is this bit here that I love, and it's because you've stenciled and stamped over the closed flower that you get this gorgeous, pretty effect. I really love that. Okay, on to the card base. So the card base is made from this incredible card pack. There are not one but two foil colours in this. If I flick through this here, just gorgeous. You've got, look, and so that was the pink. Did you see it? Pink to silver holographic. We've chosen the best sort of foil depending on the colours. You get one of each of those, and then you've got two repeats. It's just amazing. The colours are just gorgeous, just what you want for summer crafting. So I'm going to, actually the first sheet, I'm going to get this one. These amazing colours with this rose pink foil. Love that. I'm not even going to score this. I'm just going to fold it. Now I'm going to do not an exact A5 card. I'm going to fold it like this so we've got a little hint of the inside. And that's what's so nice. I mean, it's just, look, this is the back of the card. All I've done is folded it. It's just so nice. Okay, so stenciling, right. This is what I've done with the hedgerow. So it's designed to create, if I turn this over, the foil effect. So the fronts or the backs of your cards. It's great for gatefold cards as well. So just a little hint. I'm going to go over the leaves with a little bit of yellow, then orange. I'm going to add a tiny bit of pink to those, and also let's go pink with the flowers and the berries, and then maybe a bit more purple with the berries. Oh, I think it's ready. That is gorgeous. This is so nice. I use this time and time again inside my cards, but for your butterflies, you've got sending butterfly wishes, you're blooming brilliant, wishing you a beautiful birthday. There's so many other stamps to choose from in the set. And it's nice to have those added flourishes as well as handy greetings. There we go. Right, let's pop that inside our card base. It's always difficult to line up when I can't lean over to see it. There we go. Right, I will show you how to attach your flower, and then we'll do a few more embellishments. You can just attach this to your card as it is, and it will pop, it will close and open. It's great. If you want that 360 spin like this is how you do it. Within the die set, you get these two dies. You've got the brad and the pentagon with hole. Now I've just die cut these from white card. I quite like using 300 GSM for these, or 200 to 300 is fine. I wouldn't go thinner or thicker really. I've pre-die cut these because I've popped some adhesive on the other side just to show you quickly how it attaches. So the brad, it scores two arms here, and you just lift them up. Now these are a snug fit because you want them to lock into place. You just pop them through the hole there and pull back the arms. I wouldn't use tacky PVA with this, just in case the glue sort of seeps and stops the pieces from spinning around. So I'm using high tack red liner tape. So that's what I would attach to the back of the flower. like this. You can see the pentagon is exactly the right shape. Of course, you can use this to make other things you might have at home, other dies that you want to use, make those spin as well. So it is worth taking the time and using the right products like red liner tape to attach them. And that just sticks to the card like so, and that's how you get the spin. It's quick, isn't it? So butterflies and extra gorgeous things. Okay, the sprig, so useful. The sprig, the leaves, the butterfly and the bees, they have corresponding dies. You don't need to worry about fussy cutting. Just place them on your acrylic block or stamping platform. If you manipulate them, because of course it's photopolymer, so you can create extra shapes. So if you were creating sort of meadow, it might be really cool to bend these before you stamping them, and you can get more sort of stamp effects. But if you want to use the dies, just place them on as the stamps want to go, because this is a shape that lines up with your dies. I'm going to ink that up with purple dye ink, and there we go. This is the lacy butterfly. And if I bring this into shot here, I have die cut. I've used a bit of the card back to die cut a solid butterfly. So that's your solid butterfly. And the idea is that you can layer them up. What I have been doing is stamping. Either you've got this detailed butterfly stamp, you can stamp here and you can layer that up. That's a good option. Or you can stamp over the die cut. You can stamp over the die cut butterfly, the overlay, the lacy one. So you get this lovely delicate outline and the stamped butterfly and stamen as well. It's just really pretty if I place it over there. Really love that effect. So the dies that we mentioned, you can clearly see how to line them up like this, and that's the leaves and the sprig. So you can see the berries, and you can also, if you look through the holes here, you can line it up with the stem of the sprig. So I would just put a tiny little bit of washi tape on those to hold them in place, and then run that through your die cutting machine. So you've already got a butterfly here, but if you wanted to, you know, change the colour up, make it pop a little bit, you can do. You can use sticky pads or just fold them. I'm going to cover this butterfly. What I would say when you're attaching things around the flower is to keep them flat underneath the flower, and if you're going to use sticky pads, then have it further away, because you don't want anything to obstruct the mechanism as it's spinning around. So I have got some sticky pads on here, but they're far away from the spinning flower. And I'm going to put another one about here. What's lovely about the foil is you've got this sort of you've got the background of the foil design, and then you can use contrasting colours. You can also use your inks as well. So that's using the Wildflower Twist and Reveal die set, and you can see two very similar cards, one with the mirror card stamen and one with the stencil and stamp stamen, and they are just amazing. So easy to do. I think you're going to love this. I hope you enjoy crafting with the Wildflower die set as much as I do. For more ideas and inspiration, please visit our website, angelapaul.co.uk. There's also a gallery with lots of gorgeous images of makes from our talented design team.